Hi, this is Peaky Beats, and welcome to my music studio. Yeah, the first real piece of hardware was this 303 clone, and then from that I ended up getting my own synths, and then eventually the MPC and all my other samplers, and the Auto Track, and the 101 clone, and another 303, and everything you see before me. Yeah, dub sirens, all sorts of noise boxes. If I was able to, I'd do live sets like this every show, because it's just a lot more fun being able to play music live. Because coming from bands, DJing, I'm not a DJ. I'm like a live performer and a musician, so being able to make music live is much more appealing to me, and where I'm most comfortable playing live, essentially. So yeah, the more live sets I do, the happier I'll be. I just make what I feel like. It's not really that deep. It's like I'll just turn on the MPC and be like, oh, I'm just gonna write something, just see what comes out, and that's why there's quite a lot of variety in a lot of the releases I do, especially from the Peaky series to like the series I've done with Lobster and Shall Not Fade and the various labels. So yeah, I wouldn't really say I have a particular sound other than this very raw live sound, but as far as genre go, I don't know, just I think whatever people label it as, I suppose it's up to them.
How many labels do you look after?
Oh, well, just mine, but like through writing so much music with so many different friends and amazing producers, it was nice being able to set up like sub-labels within Peaky Beats, like Brain Juice and Northern Division and my little Cat Dubs outlet to kind of branch out with the other kind of music that I make with different sort of producers. So I think I'm up to four labels now. But it's all just one to me, and it's just like different series for different kinds of feeling music. like with the Northern Division, it's a lot more sort of speed garage and 4/4 element and garage house, whereas Brain Juice is very much 140 breaks with a lot of horror movie samples. And then, as I say, Cat Dubs is my kind of like raw dubstep series where I'll just record one take of my MPC and whatever synth I'm using to make bass sounds, and record one take and then just have that as like the raw dubstep tune or dub sort of hands. So dub style, and then just put that out. Whereas the Peaky Beats series is much more of a collaboration with friends, which I think their music's incredible. So it's just an honour being able to write with them and then put it out on our own platform, where we're able to give like them a lot of their own records, where they can actually sell it themselves and make help set up like a Bandcamp or whatever. But yeah, it's just nice being able to write music with so many people and have a platform to release it, which is not what the whole plan was eventually. Just see what happens, kind of going along with what unfolds. So when I was about 18, I moved to London with a band I was in at the time. It was like this sort of electronic punk kind of sound, where it was myself on guitar and a singer who would bang a drum, and a couple of tracks, until we got this producer behind us who ended up like running that studio, which I ended up running for like 4 years. So we moved to London as a band, and we were there for about 3 years, and in that tenure I got a little cat from this like rough as fuck estate in like the back end of Fulham, and it was just like this tiny little run of his litter, and like this little black and white cat, and it was like 20 quid. I call him Peaky Blinder, just because it's just a good name for a cat, and sued him. And yeah, I just took it home that day, and then just fell in love. He was like the sickest little cat ever. And throughout that time in London, I got my first computer, learned how to like produce with Ableton. Wes, the guy at the studio, like set me up with a bunch of VSTs and like samples and stuff, and like just sent me going. And I essentially was just like locked in a little tiny room, no bigger than this, in London for about 3 years with a little cat, and just fully embraced in music, learning how to do it. But I mean, it was like sort of the most depressed time of my life when I was like doing everything I was doing. I didn't want to do like the band. It was going well, but I hated the music, hated having a manager, hated like getting told what to do with your art, basically. And it was it just wasn't a fun time, and like that cat was what kept us going, basically. He was just funny. He was like a dog. He used to play fetch. He would just sit on opposites. He was funny as fuck. But yeah, so about 3 years into moving to London, and really like get like in a complete lost place, not knowing what I was gonna do with anything, and like just a complete end with everything I was doing. And I got the offer to come back up to Yorkshire and run the studio. So there and then, just me and Peaky just left London like a week later. Just came back up north and lived in a house where I had like a nice woods in the back garden. So that was like the first time we'd ever seen trees, being like a proper London cat. So we used to go on like little walks throughout in the woods whilst I was getting used to it and everything. And a year and a half after we moved to back up north, he unfortunately got run over like right outside my house. I had to like get him off the road, bury him, and it was all very traumatic, and like obviously the thing that kept you going for this whole time, which it wasn't there, and that was really hard to deal with. And then probably about 8 months to a year after he wasn't with us, was when I got the idea to start the record label, and just the name Peaky Beats came into my head whilst walking to the studio one day. And then that's when I decided like everything's just gonna be about him, and this is the, like, it's not for me, it's like this is him, and like kind of just immortalizes that little cat that got us through like everything that brought us to here. Which like you'll see in the logo, like it's his little face, the little mark he had in his mouth, and so that's why I've always kept everything cats, because of this little cat, and that's where the name comes from, and so that's why it's always cats.
You are now listening to the sounds of
Unearthed.